Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. It is Dr. Sarah and I am here for you with another video. The topic is kind of around essential oils today, but we're going to take a little break from all the biochemical soup that we've been going through with the relationship between essential oils and how they impact brain biochemistry, health, functioning, and mental illness. So if you haven't checked out my previous videos, make sure that you click on the link provided in the accompanying article that will lead you to my website and all of the latest articles so you can catch up. Today I want to talk about why going green. And by that I mean green consumer products and green cleaning products. Well, not only will it ease your mind that your choices are good for the planet, but can also enhance the health of you and your whole family. Let me take a step back and explain a little more why. Now, last year, if you've been following me for a while, I shared about the importance of choosing sustainable green products in order to protect the planet and decrease the burden of toxin and chemical accumulation in our bodies. And the problem is that many people assume that if they purchase merchandise in the market that it's safe, but it's not true. With very little oversight on safety, the FDA allows the use and release of products that are mostly deemed innocent until proven harmful. In other words, they kind of take the manufacturers at their word and assume that something is tested for safety when it may not have been, and there's some pretty sketchy practices that are going on. So unfortunately, not everybody can be trusted, and people don't necessarily have your goodness at heart more than the bottom line at times. Now, the European Union, where they have kind of done more testing and banned about over 1,300 chemicals, the FDA has only limited 11 as of right now, but the 2018 Safety Act might actually change that, so be on the eye for that. But what about this toxic burden in the body? In 2010, there was a fourth national report on human exposure to environmental chemicals, and this is a biomonitoring practiced by the CDC, where they evaluate the impact and exposure of chemicals and look at people's blood and urine and determine what chemicals are actually floating around in their little bodies. And they found that the average person had about 212 chemicals, and they were found to negatively impact human health. Again, you want to check out the accompanying article so that you can get the links to just kind of peruse through that for your own education on how these things that we are exposed to through our skin or what we use on our countertops or even what we're cleaning our floors with that our babies crawl on and our pets are inhaling can potentially affect our endocrine system, our immune system, and many other health aspects in the body. There was a study done in collaboration with the Environmental Working Group in Commonwealth back in 2005, and they actually tested 10 little babies' umbilical cord blood to see how toxic the babies were at birth. Guess what they found? They found over 200 industrial substances and pollutants in these little babies born between August and September 4th, or September 2004. They didn't have the exact birth date. And this was in U.S. hospitals. And according to their summary, of the 287 chemicals that they were detected, they know that 180 cause cancer in humans, 217 are toxic to the brain and nervous system, and 208 cause birth defects or abnormal development in animal tests. Now, they can't necessarily say that's true for humans. That would be unethical to give somebody a dose of something. But this is definitely the precautionary principle. Now remember, the average baby had about 200, but there were about 287 chemicals to choose from. And this was in 2005, so can you imagine with more of the products what those little babies tested today you would find? I mean, they're finding glyphosate in everybody these days. See, the hits keep on coming, and newer studies are continually revealing the dangers of environmental toxicants. And this is unsettling evidence, so I really do feel like it's time to take the precautionary principle. I think it's now very urgent, especially with what's going on and with the environment, especially how it's impacting us and the negative long-term health impacts that it's having on us in this these war on all these different chronic conditions. Nobody's really looking at one of the main contributors could be the fact that chemicals have been coming into play in momentous proportions and at very, very, very high levels that most humans haven't dealt with. Our grandparents and generations before us never had to deal with this toxic load. And it's really important starting out with little ones and definitely in pregnant women, especially because they have less ability to detoxify with their little organs. There's more strain on the mom, and these babies are going through critical periods of development. So that means that when they're hit at specific times, especially when, their brain and neurological system is developing, that can cause a lot of negative epigenetic or even genetic damage. Now, epigenetic means things from the environment are actually going to affect what that baby is programmed to deal with as it grows up and how it responds to the environment, and maybe will make their genes less efficient and functioning. And we don't want that to happen. And this is actually there's actually been studies called the CHARGE study, which is called the Childhood Autistic Risks for Genetics and Environment. It's an ongoing epidemiological study that focuses on how various chemicals and biological exposures, susceptibility factors, and the interactions of their different phenotypes, which are observational characteristics among children with autism, and what these chemical exposures, how they're affecting the health status, nutritional levels, and impacting these children. So they've seen, that this is definitely impacting our children. But there is good news. So there are steps that we can take to decrease our exposures, and this is things such as eating organic foods. Let's put the argument aside. I don't even care about the argument if organic foods are more healthy. It's what you're not eating in organic foods. Even if it's not pristine, at least there's less chemicals, less toxins, less exposure, more potential nutrient soil, so there's less damage there. Filtering our water is important. I'll just say Flint and leave it at that. Purchasing natural, non-toxic household and personal care products. This is essential because what you put in your skin gets into your bloodstream, okay? Especially for women that are pregnant, especially for men and women that are trying to conceive. You want to start off with less toxins floating around in your system. Essential oils can help. How can they help? Well, all of these negative side effects from the environment, they can help mitigate. They're antioxidants, they're anti-inflammatory, they can help boost our immune system. There's been some studies, which again is linked in the accompanying article, on how they can impact our body's ability to detoxify and support that, because we want to support our body's natural means of, yes, it can naturally detoxify, and supporting it in times of extreme stress and a lot of extra exposure, I think, is helpful. They also will calm the body and mind for stress, so that when you're less stressed, your body's ability to heal and rejuvenate is more optimized. So these are all important things to consider when we're swimming around in a soup of toxins on a daily basis. Next video, or at least article, I'm going to reveal how one product, an all-natural essential oil diffused baby wipe, you heard me right, but can help us with this whole topic of toxicity. It's going to exhibit how one little tiny product swap can have a big health impact. And these sensational travel companions are not just safe for mama, but they're also safe for the whole family, and bathroom wipes for grown-ups, makeup removals, more. And I'll provide a comprehensive list of safety information for oils in infants and pregnancy, because, if we can use things more natural that are safe, and that have been used for generations on our mamas and babies that are calming to the system and protecting them and not contributing to more toxicity. Let's do that. And let's have the fathers and families and FIDO all participate as well and receive those benefits. So make sure that you go back to my website and subscribe to my website, because only my subscribers are going to get the key to see the next article. A little way to get you guys to subscribe. I admit it. Okay, anyways, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in, and I will be back soon. Take care.